Let's go now to Nora and Gail out in Las Vegas. They're with CBS News contributor Bob Schieffer. Good morning.
Yes, we are. Thank you very much, Margaret. You know, Bob, it's very interesting to see the reaction from Team Trump. They're almost doing a cleanup on aisle 3 because last night they were saying, look, what he meant to say is what he was really saying. And this morning, they're making it clear that, yes, he will accept the results.
Well, you know,
but that's not what he said.
As I said last night, you got to say something. And they had tried to get him off this thing for 2 weeks, and he kept going back to it and going back to it. The interesting thing to me, though, is this, last night, somebody emailed me last night and said this is shockingly substantive at the beginning of this debate. Yeah. But the thing about those TV cameras out there, you leave them on long enough and they're going to tell you something about who a person really is. We saw Donald Trump evolve into what many people think he is, and that's someone who is simply not temperamentally suited for the office of the presidency. Bret Stephens, a columnist in the Wall Street Journal, in his column this morning says when he said he wouldn't let us know if he would accept the results of the election, he called it the most shockingly disgraceful statement by a presidential candidate in 160 years.
And the way he delivered it, too, Bob, it was sort of petulant when he said, I will keep you in suspense.
Well, it was kind of like he was kind of teasing us about it. You know, I'm going to keep this a secret until we... That's not what the American electoral process is all about, and that's what makes this so dangerous. He gave the impression last night that maybe he doesn't care what the process is. To me, he showed no respect for one of the foundational parts of the American political system.
The nonpartisan commission wanted a deep drill down on the issues, and I think we got that last night, as you said, Bob. The Supreme Court, right out of the box, the issue of the Second Amendment, the issue of abortion, and Roe versus Wade. What do you think about Trump's answer on that?
Well, when he says, you know, you're willing to rip a baby out of the womb at 9 months, no woman carries a child for 8.5 months and then decides she wants to have an abortion. The abortions that happen at that period are usually about the life of the mother. Nobody does that, and that is just that's just horrible to even contemplate.
Did you consider it a good? But did you consider it a good debate? Because there were a lot of issues that were covered. There was a lot of give and take. Shouldn't a debate at times be contentious?
I thought it was an excellent debate because these debates are not always just about issues. They're about taking the full measure of a person. We got the full measure of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump last night. And, you know, one thing that's been completely overshadowed by this controversy over him not accepting the results, what's this deal with Vladimir Putin? Where in the United States is the constituency for making that argument? I just simply don't understand what that's all about.
I think Charlie has a question.
Charlie Rose.
Bob, there's a sentiment, I think, in the country, when is this going to be over? I think you, in fact, said that. But my question, after this debate, what's the narrative for the rest of the campaign?
Well, I don't think we should expect anything but what we've seen so far. I mean, his campaign is obviously trying to turn the page, but I saw nothing last night that indicated that he's going to change in any way, shape, or form. As to when it's going to be over, not soon enough for me. That would be the answer on that one. And I'm a guy who spent his whole life covering politics.
November 8th.
November 8th. I was thinking that too, Nora.
Although
November
sometimes
8th will
others
soon be here.
Yeah. What's fascinating is early voting starts in 2 days here in Nevada, so they got a front row seat to once they begin that early.
Glad to hear it.
Thank you so much, Bob.